Charting Kenya's path to peaceful elections and democracy, the USAID ECCES journey so far. At the heart of every democracy is a citizenry alive to their constitutional rights and responsibilities. Through civic and voter education, such a citizenry is empowered on how to participate in the democratic processes during and after the phases of every election cycle, how to remain engaged in governance matters, and how to hold leaders accountable through public participation. This lies at the heart of the mandate of the USAID Kenya Electoral Conflicts Mitigation and Civic Voter Education Support (ECCES) program implemented by Act Change Transform, Uraia Trust, and the 25 sub-awardees across 18 target counties in Kenya. Act Change Transform is leading the consortium in implementing the Kenya Inclusive Governance Accountability, Performance and Participation Kenya IGAP Electoral Conflict Mitigation and Civic and Voter Education Support component, which contributes to Result Area 2 on accountability and transparency in electoral and democratic processes improved while citizen resilience against political manipulation enhanced. In our pursuit of fostering democracy, peace, and civic education, ACT is proud to acknowledge our strong collaborations with the key IGAP partners, namely the National Council of Churches of Kenya, NCCK, and the Electoral Law and Governance Institute for Africa, Algiers. Collaborations between governments, civil society organizations, and other stakeholders have further improved the participation of underrepresented groups. The key stakeholders in the program include women, youth, special interest groups, adolescent boys, civil society organizations, Uraia Trust, and national partners including the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, IEBC, Office of the Registrar of Political Parties (ORPP), National Cohesion and Integration Commission (NCIC). Together, we have continuously reviewed and refined our thematic outcomes, aligning our strategies to better achieve our shared goals. Notably, ACT together with NCCK collectively collaborated to hold a Youth for Peace and Cohesion conference in April 2023 aimed at enhancing the inclusion and participation of youth in peace efforts, which is one of the tenets of the ECCES program. The ECCES activity aims to ensure civil society, youth, women, and persons with disabilities successfully participate in democratic processes, lead voter and civic education, and implement local strategies to mitigate and prevent electoral violence.
Over our long history of 22 years now since we established, we have had very many partners and stakeholders and collaborators across the structure of the government, national and county level. We could easily go to priority counties of USAID and find existing networks and links at different layers which we could apply so that we can be able to roll out the program, but also to make sure the program realizes a rapid progress and to reach the target communities and even the citizens.
The thinking around the Resort 2 area, I think it was very well done in ensuring, in seeing the Kenya-led, Kenya-managed organization running with each of the components. And so then, and also then coming together to ensure that where one organization needs to leverage on the strength of the other, then we can call upon each other for that.
Interventions revolved around cycles of the elections, pre, during, and post-election phases. Different approaches and methodologies targeted a variety of actors and special interest groups, including youth, border riders, women and persons with disabilities, political aspirants and candidates, national and county government actors, and the general public. Through these activities and in collaboration with different stakeholders, the ECCES program largely contributed to inclusive and peaceful 2022 elections and achieved the desired results for the last 2 years.
Political party leaders come together and sign a commitment to peace. And we thought that that in itself, that was done at KICC, I think about less than a month to the election day. And that enabled most of the political leaders to endear themselves towards avoiding radicalizing citizens, advancing divisive politics and committing themselves to maintain peace.
This was supported by the work of civic education aimed at building social cohesion, so that you are actually helping communities to think through what peace means for them, what living together with their neighbors means at a very personal level. And for them, therefore, resolving in their minds that they are going to keep peace.
As the program comes to its midpoint, ACT commissioned a midterm evaluation to establish the impact of the interventions over the last 2 years and generate information on the extent to which the program has achieved its 4 main objectives. The study is critical in generating a body of evidence on implementation approaches that are effective and determine the sustainability of emerging outcomes. In the first year, the program directly reached 222 people. 15 million were reached indirectly through broadcast on radio and social media. In year 2, a total of 440,350 people were reached indirectly through radio and social media. Interventions have improved the participation of women in peace, governance, and decision-making processes.
We've seen peace committees that traditionally did not have youth or women coming in and being and expanding to increase these groups. You recognizing that that these groups may have more information than you do. There are youths who might appear like they are siding with a particular group, but bringing them into these processes, they actually give you much more information. Yeah, and then they contribute then to the early warning and early response structure that has been laid.
In Nakuru County, the ECCES program targeted youth and women with civic and voter education to address misinformation and disinformation before and after the 2022 elections, including holding several media-amplified forums to challenge normalized norms about women's candidature in elective politics. County partners also mobilize women, youth, and persons with disabilities to register as voters, verify their voter details, and offer themselves as candidates. Collectively, the activities reached a total of 3,210 women and 7,350 youth. These efforts contributed to an increase in the number of women who registered as voters and who offered themselves as candidates in Nakuru County. A total of 14 women were elected to elective seats. These are 8 members of County Assembly, 1 governor, 4 members of National Assembly, and 1 senator. This was an increase from the 2017 elective positions. The number of youth elected to the County Assembly also increased from 9 in 2017 to 11 in 2022. In Laikipia County, through 40 vibrant activities, the program sensitized the community on the critical need for women and youth involvement in democratic exercises and decision-making processes, and sensitized them on the constitutional provisions on special interest groups. Among the youth and women aspirants reached through program forums, 4 were elected in the 2022 general election. Laikipia Border Women of Dignity, Portuguesa Youth for Peace Groups, Sabalai Chiefs Forum, and the Multi-Stakeholders Peace Structure for state and non-state actors were among 4 structures formed to promote and advocate their inclusion in democratic processes. Interventions directly reached 2,501 women, 2,858 youth, and 82 persons with disabilities. In total, 130,531 beneficiaries were reached through forums, cross-border engagement forums, and cascaded local activities with the impact transcending the borders to Samburu and Baringo counties. Two potential electoral-related violence incidences in Mundumeri and Mowarak were deterred.
In Baragoi, the biggest communities that live there are Turkana and the Samburu, and they always have had run-ins with each other during that period. And they've enjoyed the last 1 year of a fair amount of peace. Part of it is a contribution of the government, but part of it was some of the work we did working with Community Safety Initiative, CSI, which is an organization that is based in Samburu, working for Malaral and working in most of the sub-counties there.
The other component of all that we had when it came to civic education was also helping communities see the value of leadership in youth, women, persons with disabilities. Sometimes it entailed giving them a platform to air their views.
In peace building, sustainability is better achieved through the strengthening of local peace structures, which enables communities to address security challenges even beyond the lifespan of funded programs. The ECCES program has further interacted with other USAID-supported programs, including the County Local Development Organizations, LDOs, through the Aga Khan Foundation in a number of interventions. One of these activities included the County Awareness Forum on Boundary Delimitation, Peace and Social Cohesion in Njoro Sub-County, which featured the Nakuru and Uraia Trust. Further, the ECCES county-level collaborations were critical in complementing the work done at the counties and made it easier to identify locally led solutions and strategies for addressing emerging concerns through existing community structures such as the already established conflict management panels. The ECCES program has further enhanced the capacity for community resilience for various implementing partners. Bansi Kabutha, the Executive Director at the Center for Transformational Leadership, CTL, reflects on the program's impact on their organizational capacity. She notes that the civic education and engagement we had with them built their resilience. Victoria Wamwere, the project officer at Badili Africa, observes that the ECCES program has enhanced the capacity of the Badili Africa team with the knowledge and skills needed to effectively respond to community challenges.
ACT is keen on building the institutions, in ensuring that institutions are not simply doing activities, but they are contributing their role as strong civil society organizations, and that they have a strong voice around issues. And so also building their capacities as institutions, ensuring that they also have the funding flow.
ACT, in collaboration with communities, implementing partners, and county and national government, remains committed to achieving, safeguarding, and enhancing the gains made over the last 2 years in preventing electoral violence and promoting citizen participation in governance, sharing the lessons learned with state and non-state actors, and informing decisions, plans, and activities to be undertaken for subsequent election cycles in Kenya.
If there's anything I would ask any of the donors to do, including USAID, is to invest in the post-election period. So we put as much demands on our elected leaders as possible. And we prepare them for the understanding that, you know what, we did not elect you as a number. We elected you as our voice, as a community. And we expect you to go and represent us, speak for us, speak for the youth, speak for the persons that are able differently, speak for the typically excluded persons, speak for the women, and so that all the choices and the decisions which will be made in your time as a representative can actually echo exactly how we feel in our hearts as the electors.